Hello everybody and welcome back to Screen Stars. I'm here today to review the 2017 horror movie Devil's Gate, and this is a movie that I did a trailer reaction to a good few weeks ago now, and I thought the trailer looked quite interesting, and I actually thought the trailer made this film out to be something a little bit on the same lines as The Void, the horror movie that was released last year. Which is not a bad thing because I really enjoyed The Void. I thought it was pretty effective as a horror movie. So I was quite interested in this, and I was also doubly interested because it had quite an impressive cast. We've got Sean Ashmore in here, you will recognise from the X-Men movies. He played the Iceman. Jonathan Frakes makes an appearance, who you will know as Commander Riker from Star Trek The Next Generation. And the actor you see there with a shotgun, whose name escapes me, he's been in things like Heroes and Rocky Balboa, things like that. So it's got quite a decent cast behind it, this, and it's got quite a decent budget as well. And what I actually thought this movie was going to be like a creature feature, very similar, like a body horror type thing, similar to The Void. Well, actually, this surprised me a little bit. It actually turned out to be more in tune with movies like Invasion of the Body Snatchers, and it turned out to be something completely what I didn't expect, which is never a bad thing, really, in a movie. And what this movie essentially is about is we have a young FBI agent who turns up to this small American town. She has been called in to investigate two missing persons, a mother and a son. She meets the sheriff, who's played by Jonathan Frakes, and his deputy, played by Sean Ashmore. And the sheriff basically puts her off and says, there's no need to go out there, there's nothing to see, sort of thing. And of course, after I questioned a couple of locals, she decides to go out there with Sean Ashmore, the deputy, to question the father. When they get there, the farm where the father is living is in a decidedly disgruntled state. It's broken down, and things start getting pretty weird from there. And they learn fairly quickly, whereas initially they suspected that the father was the reason why the mother and the son had gone missing, and it was suspected that he'd probably murdered them. It's something else completely different. Is it creatures? Is it monsters? Or is it something further up in the skies? You'll have to watch the movie to see for yourself. So, yeah, I think whereas this movie does have quite a few faults in a sense of I thought the pacing was a little bit off. I thought the writing was a little bit shoddy here and there. Just some of the stuff didn't make sense. Why would the FBI just send one agent out into the middle of nowhere on a missing persons case? They probably, I don't know, but I thought it didn't seem like that they would do that, especially when the local sheriff had no concerns about it at all, really. Um, so some of the writing was basically out of convenience, really. I said the pacing was a little bit off, and some may find the direction that the movie goes in a bit to be a problem. I didn't. I quite enjoyed the direction it went in. It took me a little bit by surprise, and it actually keeps you guessing because right up to the point where it actually confirms what you're thinking, it could be a number of things. The reason behind this whole thing, it could be monsters, creatures, demons. The guy at the farm is highly religious and he thinks it's like signs from God and all this kind of stuff, and there's all this lightning in the sky, and you kind of think, well, what is it? Is it angels? Is it demons? Is it monsters? Is it something else? Um, and when you actually finally get the answer, it's a bit like, this is a little bit different than what I expected. Now, this film also went with another title, and it's probably smart that they changed it. It went under the another title of Abduction, and I've probably said too much there, so you've probably figured out already what this movie is about. But I think it is smart that they changed the title to Devil's Gate, but it is a little bit misleading, especially because you kind of think, oh, it's a gate to demons, devils, where actually Devil's Gate is the name of the town where they live and are investigating. So it's kind of a bit misleading, which might put some people off. I thought it was quite effective, this movie. There were some good effects, some good practical effects as well, very similar to The Void in the way they went down with the effects that they used. I thought it did have a decent budget behind it, this movie. Did get a little bit confusing at times. I think it did write itself into a corner once or twice, the movie, but overall I thought it was fairly effective, with a nice little fork in the road in regard to the story it decided to tell, and quite refreshing in a lot of ways, but certainly not one of the best movies or horror movies I've seen in the last few months. But I think you could go as far as to say this is certainly watchable, and it could send you either way. You might really hate it, but I just thought it was pretty good, so I'll give it like a 6.5 out of 10. Thanks for watching.